All right, so I'm Jay, John Payne here, and I'm going to be discussing a piece of software that I think is going to be very instrumental in my classroom. Hopefully this fall, because I only will have, I think, might have 4 iPads, and I've used this software before because it's free. Once I move to something that's a more of a pay software, I kind of quit using it, but I'm going to go ahead and review this software because it is free and it's actually a little more powerful than I remember. So on my iPad, I'm going to go under Art, and I've got my stuff set up here, and the software is called Paper. And the Paper is actually from WeTransfer. It's a company, and I kind of like it because you can kind of create little sketchbooks and work from there. So as I'm recording this, I will also be recording my screen, and then that way we can see how it's supposed to look. All right. So, all right. So as I'm in Paper here, you will see that I've got a sketchbook. When you first open it, there's lots of different sketchbooks available. You can go back and forth, and I just particularly just grab one, whatever color, and once you click on it, you can see that it goes into a main screen, and from there, you'll see that this one actually has something on it right now, but I can go ahead and remove this with just a real quick eraser, or you can clean the whole thing off. Even though this is the free version, the pro version, which you can pay for, has more tools. This has all the tools at the bottom. I usually kind of start with either the pen. I should start with the pencil and then add more, but right now I'm just going to start playing around, and I don't know, I'll probably just draw this little figure that I tend to draw a whole lot of, just kind of over and over again. Everybody has that one kind of character that they draw. See, two fingers, I can zoom in on it really, really big, and I can change tools if I need to. Like go with the paintbrush. Let's go with the paintbrush, and I can fill this in a little better. It's kind of a great way just to kind of start, and you can kind of grab pieces and work from it. But a lot of times I think it's a good way to introduce, especially if you have, a stylus or a pen tool of some sort. So I just kind of like to play around with some of the features. If I don't like it, I can always switch over to the eraser and kind of go in. Remember, you can zoom by pinching and going in and out. I really like that capability. Most software now is being designed with the same type of user interface as far as usability, pressure controls on the pens. I found that even just some cheap little styluses from Walmart or something like that. You can get like a pack of 10 from Amazon as well, and they will work with any iPad or phone. Just make sure you keep those locked down because sometimes they grow feet. All right, so I'm just going to keep working on this a little bit. And then my little character, that's a little off because I kind of feel like sometimes I'm like this where I'm a little off and I'm not really 100%. So I tell the kids, hey, sometimes I just have to go with what I've got, and I just keep working with that and playing around and just playing around. Still, I have not changed tools yet, but I can. I do like the capability of the pressure sensitive. The older version did not have that capability. It's really nice to have that. So again, I'm just using a simple iPad and a stylus. This one happens to be mine. But you can use it with other tools. I remember putting this on the really, really low-level iPads that we had, and I'm not really sure what my new classroom will have. But as I'm working on here, I'm just going to probably swap around between some tools just to see what I could play with. Let's see if you click on something and it says Join Paper Pro to gain access to more tools. If they're grayed out, then they're not going to work, but that's all right. We don't really need them. We don't need them just to start creating. It's kind of a fun way to play around, and I know that some of the students will enjoy doing that. And if I make a mistake, like I always tell the kids, don't worry about it. You can always add more. From here, I can really play around with the color spectrum, get lighter, darker, kind of mix and match. I really like that. You can bring in different aspects. This is actually a newer tool for me. It's like a smudge tool, which is actually I'm kind of liking it. It's kind of almost creating a watercolor feel to it. That's definitely a new thing that I haven't used with it. So even though this is technically not a finalized piece of artwork, I will show a picture of it again, and it's right there. Okay, so as we're working through this, I think that any of the tips and tricks I would share on this is, I know there's the trash can tool like that, is I would probably tell students, as you're working, just make sure that you save it, grab different sections of it. With mine, with this particular iPad, I just press the power and the volume key, and it'll just grab a quick screen grab of it. And then that way it'll be in my photos. I always tell the kids, like when we're using Photoshop, always save constantly. It's not like Google Drive where it saves everything for you. It's kind of, I've gotten out of that practice myself, which is kind of dangerous. In the top corner, we do have undo and redo. I technically don't really use those because I try to tell the kids, don't worry about making mistakes. You can always turn a mistake into a masterpiece. So even though it is a little bit limited in some aspects, I think that in many cases it's just kind of a real fun way just to kind of get in and play, and there's a little bit less what's the word, fear. Like if you make a mistake, it's kind of like, well, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it, but that's okay. We're just going to keep going and keep playing with it. I'd have to say that there's a lot of software out there. Some of the ones that I've seen are very limited. I'm still a big proponent of different versions of like Procreate. I know it's like $10, $10.99, but if you're constrained to a budget and you've got like a bunch of iPads that you need to work with, or even phones, and you don't want to spend that kind of money, something fun like this is a great way to start. Especially if you can get those cheap styluses and let the students really kind of start playing and just seeing what they can do. I mean, I think that's kind of a big thing that we'd like to. We don't play enough. I mean, we have all these ideas and these assignments, and it's just really kind of nice to be able to push and play with a new piece of software. And you know what? Again, if it's free and you download it and you use it and you don't like it, just uninstall it. I mean, there's lots of stuff out there. There's lots of companies that are making stuff. So I'm really liking right now the watercolor playfulness of this, even though it just feels kind of like a watercolor brush. If there's anything else that you find that you like about this software, please, let me know, because I'd like to know more about it. Like I said, I'm just playing with it because it's free right now. All right. So, hey, like I always say, when you're working in this, push the aspects, play with tools. I'm definitely going to tell my students to see what they can do, see about layering, because sometimes you can paint over stuff and it looks like it's not painting over black, which is really, really nice. And then I'm really liking that smudge aspect. Oh, but when you smudge it, you really smudge it bad. What do I do? Okay, this would be a great learning experience right now. Undo, undo, and then that way I can keep playing with it. That looks like a highlighter, which I've never known highlighters to work this well, but it's actually kind of cool. So, all right. So I'm just going to keep working on this, and once I have the finished product, maybe we'll have some way to collaborate with these. Maybe we could just pass them around. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Take the image and then just screen grab it and send it to another iPad so a student can add to it. They might add horns on my little self-portrait here. That would probably be without when I don't have coffee. But I think we're just going to push and see what more we can do with this software. All right? And hey, let's get creative.